All right, here we go. Race number 1. We'll see Nick Sorensen and Xander on the front row. Harry Volsmir and Simon Zierk on the second. Mike Doling and Adam Barker on the third row. Jason Miller and Paul Doling of the fourth row. Ben Rao and Matt Bear, the Mad Bear, rounding out the top 10. Ronnie Wimberly did not come out in qualifying. We'll see if he takes to the track. Everybody getting lined up on, it looks like some guys making some last minute setup adjustments here. Probably adding a little bit of fuel. Not seeing Ronnie take to the grid. That's sad. It has been a while since we've seen Ronnie run with this group. Everybody getting lined up on the grid, ready to go. Remember, race number 1 is a sprint, 20 minutes. Race number 2, more points involved. It is a 40-minute, more of an endurance race. A fuel stop will be required during that race. Not seeing a lot of crazy strategies on the fuel stops this season either. Looks like everybody is lined up, just waiting for the Porsche pace car to take off. Wonder if the pace car is struggling here this morning as much as the other Porsches are. All right, looks like they are about to get rolling. And with the cooler track temperatures this morning, we might actually see some of these guys making more of an effort to warm the tires up. We'll have to watch that closely. Nick Sorensen and Harry Volsmir are going to lead them down. Turn 1 will be interesting on the drop of the green as they try and sort out who's going to go where. Multiple lines through some of these turns. And some of them, there's only one way to get through. It's going to make passing a bit interesting here this morning. Yeah, seeing a lot of the drivers warming up the tires this morning. Does look like Ronnie is on pit road. He might start after the drop of the green. Might be playing it safe here this morning. A lot more cars warming up tires this morning than what we're used to seeing. Down through the corkscrew behind the pace car. It'll be interesting to see if anybody tries the corkscrew too wide this morning. And we'll be keeping a close eye on Matt Bear, who has had zero practice before this morning and has been struggling all morning long. He is looking to finish race 1 in 7th place. Start on the front row and do some very Matt Bear things at the start of race 2. Here we go. Pace car is in through the final corner. Down the front straightaway, they fire, and green is in the air. Sorensen gets a good jump. Xander quickly makes a move into second. Holy cow, comes across Harry's nose. That was close. Everybody running the inside line through turn 1. Xander looking for a move in the Porsche. Harry trying to stick the nose back in and reclaim second place. Can't get there. Adam Barker back in 5th. Team Doling in 6th and 7th. Mike in 6th. Paul in 7th. Jason Miller back in 8th. The other Porsche in the field. Matt Bear in ninth, Ben Rao in 10th, and it does look like Ronnie is rolling back in 11th. I'm guessing track limits will be tested today, and here we go through the corkscrew. Down through the corkscrew the first time, and it does not look like anybody suffers. No, Paul Doling goes wide. Paul in the orange Mercedes just comes off the corkscrew a little too hot. Tries to hold on to it through the sand, gets back in the gas, manages to save it. Oh no! And he goes around, but he does keep rolling. Nick Sorensen still up in the lead. Xander in second, Harry back in third. Adam Barker now up to fourth, has gotten past Doling in fifth. Simon Zierk now up to sixth place. Matt Bear in seventh, right where he wanted to be. Jason Miller gaining ground in eighth. Ben Rao back in ninth. Paul Doling in 10th. Ronnie Wimberly in 11th. Back through the corkscrew with the leader, and it looks like everybody's got enough distance to make it through the corkscrew safely this time. Simon Zierk currently running in sixth place. Looks like he has a great view of the fight above him, and hey, it's always fun to ride along with Simon, especially when we go down through the corkscrew, so let's take a lap in his car. Down across the start-finish line, then up the hill full throttle into the little kink here, and then hard on the brakes into turn one. Everybody keeping as low as possible through turn one. Down into the fast right-hand turn, getting as much of the rumble strips as possible. Back across the apex and back on the throttle, one of the fastest parts of the track right here. Left-hander and start up the hill. Down through the high-speed left-hander. A little bit tricky with a bump down on the inside, then up the hill towards the corkscrew. Hard on the brakes, down into the corkscrew. Left, right, and left again. And back on throttle. Down into the second to last turn, back on the throttle, and headed down to that very slow final turn. All the way down into first gear, back on the throttle, and back towards the start-finish line. Simon did that lap, his best lap so far, 128.28. Matt Bear has had a problem, as has Ronnie Wimberly. Let's take a look. Matt Bear coming through the second to last corner, just overshoots big time. And what happened with Ronnie Wimberly? It looks like Adam Barker has just had an incident. Oh, Ronnie just gets really loose. Looks like coming out of the corkscrew. Manages to get the car turned around and rolling again. Adam Barker now looks like he had a bit of an off track here. He did say he came prepared to build some... Oh, he gets really wide there. We saw a lot of folks in practice who got wide there just lose the back end. That sand can send you around quickly. Although Adam Barker did say he brought his spade and pail so he could build sand castles if needed. Nick Sorensen continuing to lead and open a bit of a gap now. 1 minute is the lead, or 1 second rather, not a minute. 1 second is the lead over Xander. We saw Sorensen do this in race 1 last week at Road Atlanta. He was just dominating early on. A lot of the drivers saying, though, that the Porsche is the fastest car here, but it is a bit of a handful. Especially when hitting the apex and the rumble strips at this track. Xander definitely showing it has some speed as he's trying to close that gap up as he comes up the hill. Harry Volsmir still in third as Harry is about 4 seconds behind this battle for the lead. Adam Barker in fourth, about 2 1/4 seconds behind Harry and gaining. Oh, Adam gets too much of the rumble strip and goes around down through the corkscrew. Adam struggling to get the car righted. He is falling back quickly, now back into 8th place. Ben Rao coming down the corkscrew, a close call. Paul Doling should be okay. Adam Barker is moving again, but is now back in 9th place. What a heartbreak. See if we can take another look at this one. Just a little too much into the sand, and it sends the car all the way around. Great job by Adam keeping out of trouble. He's now caught back up to Ben Rao. Ben appears to be blinking a little bit. Jason Miller, the other Porsche in the field, back in 7th place at the moment. Sorensen still maintaining that lead, but Xander is chipping away at it little by little. It's now down to 0.7 of a second. Harry Volsmir back in third. Mike Dolling in fourth now. Mike is gaining on Harry. He's now 2 seconds behind him in closing. Simon Zirk back in fifth. Jason Miller back in sixth. Matt Bear has gone off track. Oh! Let's back that one up just a little bit. It looks like uphill towards the corkscrew. It looks like he got on the brakes a little too late and had to get on them hard, and it just pitched the back end around. And it did look like Matt backed into a wall. Ronnie Wimberly has gone off track now. Did hear a lot of the... oh, he just clips the sand coming out of the kink. A lot of drivers this morning, especially the BMW drivers, talking about the push that BMW seems to have in the early laps. But halfway through race 1, they're still having some issues with it. A lot of guys talking about they're more used to driving now on the hotter tracks, and with these cooler track temperatures, it's kind of throwing them for a loop. Let's check what the track temperature is at this point. 73 degrees. So the track temperature is up a little bit from what they had in qualifying. Still not the 130 degrees or whatever it is, has been for several weeks. Xander has now caught the back bumper of Nick Sorensen again. That Porsche definitely extraordinarily fast here. A lot of drivers saying they finally got the Porsche tuned right. iRacing's got it right, but in the process, the Mercedes got nerfed a little bit and is now not as fast as it was last season. That Porsche is really handling the corkscrew really well for a car that tends to be a bit tail happy. Of course, all the weight over the rear tires could do that. Nick Sorensen out front still as he goes down into the final turn. Or I'm sorry, down into turn 1. And you see there on the map, the field spread out quickly. It's going to be very interesting, though, when we get to race 2, just how much they spread out and then come back together once the cycle of pit stops begins. Remember, race 1, a 20-minute sprint. Race 2, a 40-minute endurance race. And Adam Barker has had a problem. The defending champion is not having a good morning here. Oh, gets down into the corkscrew and spins again. Adam is not loving the corkscrew this morning. Harry having a very good run here in 3rd. Mike Dolling in 4th. Simon Zierk now in 5th. Jason Miller up to 6th now. The Mad Bear holds on to 7th place at the moment, right where he said he wanted to finish, and so he can start race 2 in the lead and just become a brick wall. Oh, Matt completely misses the corkscrew. Ronnie Wimberly has taken the car to pit road. Matt Bear has completely missed the corkscrew. What a strange turn of events. Let's see why Ronnie went to pit road. Just a little bit loose down through turn 1. Loses the back end, but you have to give him a shout out. As always, Ronnie Wimberly. Check him out on Quad Racing on Twitch. Ronnie is truly an impressive individual. He does these races and is very, very successful in his iRacing career using a quad stick. No hands, no feet. Drives with his mouth. And it is seriously impressive to watch. I would grab Ronnie, but looks like he is muted. And hey, good morning, Russell. How's it going, buddy? Jason Miller has gone on. Mike Dolling has gone off track. Looks like Mike Dolling had multiple issues. Let's see where this started. Looks like headed toward the corkscrew. And, oh, the same thing we saw Matt Barrett just push and slides off the track. See what happens with Jason Miller here. Oh, good deal, Russell. Always glad to see you, buddy. And, oh, out of the kink, it looks like Jason Miller just snaps around. And, Russell, you know I always support you, buddy, especially since I'm going through some of the same stuff myself right now. Always happy to see you back out on track, and I hope you get that win soon. You've had too many close calls with victory lane, buddy. Five minutes left to go in race 1. Nick Sorensen has led every lap so far. Jason Miller did get the car rolling again. Let's try and get a look. He did have some impact, but it doesn't look like the car is too worse for the wear at the moment. Matt Bear has also had some problem, a little bit of front end damage, but he seems okay. Adam Barker now back into 9th place. Taking a look, he's got a little bit of damage on the nose of that BMW, but not too terribly bad. Paul Doling back in 10th. Who else? Mike Doling has been off track, and he's got a little damage on the front end, especially on the splitter. That may be affecting his handling now. A lot of torn up splitters here this morning. Simon Zierk, however, having a very smooth race in 4th place. He is actually gaining ground on 3rd place. Harry Volsmeer, just not a lot of time left. He needs Harry to make a mistake. Harry, however, has been just perfect all morning long in the Mercedes. Meanwhile, Xander is still, I cannot believe this, Xander's blinking. 17 minutes into this race and still right on Nick Sorensen's back bumper. It has been quite a run for these two drivers. Russell, you could always take up road racing and come up here on Sunday mornings, buddy. Sorensen back through the corkscrew. These two have been perfect through the corkscrew. The corkscrew has claimed numerous victims. Now, you never know, Russell. These guys, and that is one thing I will say about this league. GT3 NSS has helped every single driver that has joined them. If they were struggling, man, they've gotten an education. In fact, coming into this, Jason Miller in the Porsche was struggling a little bit on speed this... Oh! Jason goes off track. Ben Rao has also gone off track. Jason was struggling a bit finding speed this morning, and several of the drivers took the time and they were watching his laps, helping him out. Looks like Ben Rao went off right behind him. Let's see what happened. Just a little bit wide through the kink. You grab that dirt on the right side and it will send a car around. I know that from Xander has gone off track. Xander had been haunting Nick Sorensen's back bumper all morning trying to find some speed. Looked like he just clipped that bump. Clipped another bump. That Porsche just a little wobbly, but he holds on to it. Matt Bear is off track again. I'm guessing the Mad Bear is not in a good mood right now. A lot of drivers going wide there through turn 2. You know, this is our first time broadcasting a race here at Laguna Seca, and I have to say it has been a great one. Looking forward to race 2. Mike Dolling is in trouble. And it looks like the corkscrew may claim another victim, and it's another BMW. It's the same thing we saw out of Adam Barker and Matt Bear and so many others. Just trying to get into that corner deep, but what a recovery. That's got to be the best recovery we have seen. And that recovery is keeping him in 5th place right now. The Mad Bear right on his back bumper. Final lap here. Ben Rao went off track and has gone to the pits. Nick Sorensen coming through the final 2 turns. Checkered flag is in the air. And Sorensen does it again. Nick Sorensen wins race 1. He'll start race 2 from 7th place. Xander comes in 2nd. Harry Volsmeer in 3rd. Simon Zierk currently runs in 4th, headed toward the start-finish line. One more turn to go. Mike Dolling, despite all the adversity this morning, looks like he's going to come home in 5th. Hey, Clan Gunther, I have to say, the Team Dolling is here this morning, and they said you guys didn't show up out of fear. Got anything to say about that? All right, let's talk to our top 3. Starting with third place, Harry Volsmere. Hey, Harry, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, that was a great race, and probably you probably had one of the most consistent runs out there all morning long in third.
Yeah, and it was lonely, but it was all right for me.
It seemed to work, and you were actually pulling away a little bit from the drivers behind you as the leaders kind of took off. But now going into race two, can you shoot back up there and get another podium?
Oh, I don't think so, but we'll try.
Well, man, I have to say, great seeing you back out on track, and good luck. A great race so far.
Thank you.
All right, Harry Volsmere finished third, but Xander comes home in second. Hey, Xander, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, hey Doug.
Hey, have to say, that was definitely an interesting race. Saw the Porsches really struggling in practice, but man, you pulled that one off and gave Nick a run for his money.
Yeah, unfortunate enough, his car is really strong on the straights. I'm running the highest wing, he's lowing like 5 wing, so I couldn't really. Whenever I tried to make a good run, I still couldn't keep up, so kind of struggling, but it was nice.
It looked like you were able to pull up in the draft, but like you said, if he managed to get away even a little bit, it was a struggle. Are you changing the wing for race two at all?
No, I don't think so. I'm starting ahead of him now, so hopefully I can keep him behind me, and I overtake everybody, and he just struggles to keep me over, to get past me. So let's hope for that.
All right, man. Good luck this morning, and man, what an awesome race.
Thank you.
All right, and Nick Sorensen comes home with the win. Nick, it's 2 weeks in a row. Race one, you knock it out of the park.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Thanks.
It did look a little bit exciting. I have to say, Xander said if not for the power, he probably would have had you there. You guys had quite a battle going on, but he just couldn't keep up on the straights.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep my exit speeds high, and there's a couple times I made some mistakes that kept him close. So, yeah, the exit speeds on this course, that's key.
Now, I have to say, going into race two, you start from 7th place. It's going to be a dogfight to the front. Can you get back up there?
Yeah, I think I got to employ the same strategy as last week. Just be really patient here and take the spots when they come.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Doug.
Nick Sorensen wins, and now having heard from Team Gunther, let's see if we can get Michael Dalling in here. Hey, Mike, it's Doug. You got me? Mike Dalling, it's Doug in the booth. You got me? Well, that's an interesting turn of events. We'll keep an eye out and see if Mike gets back up here in the next 2 minutes. We'll try and get a word with him. Obviously, a little smack talk going on between Team Gunther and Team Dalling. I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Actually, in the points right now, Team Gunther is ahead of Team Dalling, so I'm guessing there's not a lot of shivering in fear there, like Team Dalling is saying, or like Team Gunther is saying. Let's try one more time to get a hold of Dalling. Hey, Mike, it's Doug. You got me?
Doug, how you doing?
Hey, good. Hey, I have to say, the Team Gunther dropped into the comments in the middle of that race, and I did tell them, hey, they weren't here this morning because, they feared Team Dalling.
I was scared. Yeah.
They were scared. Well, I've just gotten word that they are shaking in fear, but I think with that laughing is probably not the case.
Yeah, after the performance in the first race, I don't think they have anything to be worried about from Team Dalling.
Go ahead.
No, it's the corkscrew just did me twice. I don't know what. I've got to try and figure that out.
I have to say, the BMWs, all the BMWs, or almost all the BMWs, struggled going into the top of the corkscrew. Yeah. We just see guys sliding across, and I know you guys said there was a bit of a push in the early going, but I was surprised to see that after the 10-minute mark.
It just wants to plow, and I don't know why on this particular track. It might be the setup, but it's Yeah, it's not easy to get it around and keep it on the tarmac as opposed to the gravel. It wants to be in the gravel. I don't know why. Maybe it has an affiliation with gravel today, but it's not. It's a bit of a handful.
I have to say, it could be just the cooler track temperatures. You guys are used to sliding the car a little more.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're used to driving on the surface of the sun. Today it's a lot cooler than that. So I don't know. We'll see how it happens in race 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Cheers,
Mike.
Doug. Bye.
All right, here we go into race number 2. And let's see our starting lineup. Adam Barker and Matt Bear on the front row. Mike Dolling and Simon Zierk have the second row. Harry Volsmir and Xander on the third row. The fourth row will be Nick Sorensen and Jason Miller. Paul Dolling and Ben Rao rounding out the top 10. And Ronnie Wimberly in 11th. Always great to see Ronnie. He wasn't able to complete race 1. Hopefully he'll get out here and show them how it's done in race 2. $40 minutes, 1 mandatory fuel stop. So this could get a little bit more interesting. We saw the field spread out a little bit, but that pit stop has a tendency to bring the field back together. Pace car gets rolling. Does not look like Ronnie is racing. Top 7 from race 1, inverted going into race 2. Adam really struggled here. See you next week, Team Gunther. Now, the question really becomes, will the entire Team Dolling show up, and how will that battle go? It is kind of weird not having any of the Gunthers out on the track. Anyway, pace car leads them around. Not seeing as many drivers warming up the tires here in race number 2. Looks like Harry's warming them up a little bit, but have not seen many drivers getting those tires warmed up. And with the front 2 rows of BMWs, as we've seen here, that corner entry into the corkscrew has been interesting for the BMWs. Could cause a little chaos in the early laps. Now they will have to make a fuel stop at some point, but they will not change tires, and obviously the cooler track temperature this morning, they weren't going to need to. Tire wear will be a lot better this morning for the drivers. Pace car leads them out of the corkscrew, getting ready for the green flag. I am loving the show these boys are putting on this morning. This will be exciting. The Porsche pace car pulls off as they go into the final turn. Adam Barker and the Mad Bear on the front row. Adam has fired. Here we go. Green is in the air. Matt Bear right on the back bumper. Matt was going to try and shoot to the lead here quickly and then just be a brick wall, but he goes wide. Mike Dolling looks inside. Can't quite get there. Paul Dolling has crashed. We'll take a look at Paul here in a moment. Let's see how the rest of lap 1 goes with Adam Barker up front. Top 4, a little bit of a breakaway as we've got Xander off. Harry is off. Nick Sorensen, who won race 1, now up into 5th place. Jason Miller in 6th. A battle going on behind as Ben Rao and Harry Volsmir go. Harry pulls by. Ben Rao goes wide. Xander goes back by. Adam Barker comes down into the final turn with the lead. The top four have broken away. Simon in fourth now has to worry about Nick Sorensen in fifth. Nick extremely fast in race number one. Already picking up a couple of positions, and he has a Mercedes power on the straightaway. Let's see what all happened on lap one, starting with Paul Doling. Paul through turn one just has the back end snap loose on him. Looks like Harry and Xander may have just gone wide through the turn. Oh, they were really going at. Oh, Harry and Xander a little bit of a touch there. And Ben Rao just had an incident. Ben's been giving everybody a little bit of... Oh, Ben gets into the dirt, goes around right in front of Paul, but Paul managing to avoid him. And I'm curious to see if that incident between Harry and Xander, do we have a chopper view of that one? Looks like Harry went to cut in, didn't realize Xander had the nose in, and there they went. Adam Barker is out front. Matt Bear has started to fall. Matt Bear actually had an off track a moment ago. Let's see what happened. Matt has drifted back into fourth place. And of course it was headed toward the corkscrew. Just got on the brakes, the back end started to snap around on him. He makes a wise choice of just taking her straight down, but then has to slow down for a penalty. Adam Barker out front just at the fastest lap of the race. And he needs to pick it up because Sorensen is now up into third, just 3 1/4 seconds behind. And don't forget, we will have to have pit stops. So things are going to get really interesting here all morning long. As Sorensen makes the move down to the inside on Simon Zierk. Sorensen now to second, sets his sights on the leader. Adam Barker out front with a 3 1/2 second lead. There is a points advantage for winning the second race over the first. Winning race 1 will give you 25 points. Winning race 2 gives you a 50-point bump. And Adam needs every point he can while defending his championship. Adam Barker looking for 3 championships in a row. Sorensen now 2.9 seconds behind. He is gaining on the leader. Adam Barker out front, as we heard Mike Doling say, a lot of plowing out of these BMWs this morning, especially about 10 minutes into the run. Simon Zierk back in third, Matt Bear in fourth, and huge shout out to Simon Zierk and S2 Consulting, his sponsor, for all the points and data that they provide us in the booth. Everything from the points to what cars they've driven, most laps led, average finishing position. Giancarlo is the best average finish so far at 2.0 in 4 races. Avery Walker is at 2.2 in 6 races. And Giancarlo, despite missing last week and this week, was actually leading most laps led, but only by 1. Mike Dolling actually has 26 laps to Giancarlo's 27. Mike Dolling, if he could get up and lead just 2 laps, he would take the top of that leaderboard of most laps led this season. Adam Barker out front, but that gap is shrinking quickly. It was over 3 1/4 seconds when Nick Sorensen got past Simon Zierk into second place. Now that gap is 1.3 seconds and closing. Nick Sorensen is definitely going to get to Adam Barker. The question is, will he find a way around him here? Matt Baer currently running in 4th place. Did not get the start to this race he wanted. Xander back in 5th. A little bit of a blink, but he's actually gaining on the Mad Bear right now. Harry Volsmere currently running in 6th. Mike Dolling in 7th. Jason Miller runs 8th. Paul Dolling in 9th. And Ben Rao on pit road in 10th. Let's see what happened to Ben that sent him to pit road. No, he was struggling earlier on in the Audi. Just overshoots. Looks like that Audi has the same push. And when he tried to get back out on the track, it spun him into the wall. Nick Sorensen has caught the leader. That Mercedes power on these straightaways definitely doing its job. But he has caught Adam, and the question now is, can he find a way to safely get around him? You heard Nick say corner exit is the key here this morning. Tried to make a move. Adam cut off the run. And Xander just set the fastest lap of the race so far. Back in 5th place. And he is under 2 seconds behind. Oh, Xander's around. Oh, and Xander gets into Harry Volsmere. Xander is spinning just ahead of Harry as he comes up the hill. Harry tries to avoid it. A little smack on the wall, but he ends up having to toe to pit road, as does Xander. Harry Volsmere and Xander both on pit road now. Paul Dolling's first race of the season had a rough race 1, but race 2 up to 7th. Jason Miller, the lone Porsche, out on track with Xander on pit road, now up to 6th. Mike Dolling in 5th. Mike a little wide there. Matt Baer still holding on to 4th, obviously taking a little bit easier through the corkscrew. Simon Zierk in 3rd. Sorensen still in 2nd. Still haunting the back bumper of Adam Barker. Nick definitely concentrating on corner exit, trying to use that momentum and that power to his advantage. He's going to try and set it up again here. Adam shoots over to block the run. Nick very easily caught back up to Adam Barker after making his way from the 7th place starting position, but has not been able to find a way around. I doubt he's going to try and make a move through the corkscrew, though. While these two are battling, Simon Zierk sits back in 3rd, Matt Bear in 4th. Mike Dolling in 5th is actually gaining on Matt Bear right now. It looks like Xander might be out of the race. Xander and Harry both appear to be out. Paul Doling in 6th, Jason Miller Paul Doling in 7th, Jason Miller in 6th, Mike Doling in 5th. But remember, here in about 8 or 9 minutes, we'll start seeing the first of the green flag stops here. Adam Barker doing an amazing job of keeping Sorensen behind him. Sorensen, one of the fastest cars on track. Nose to tail out of the corkscrew. Nick has been unable to find a way past. He sets up, but Adam manages to block the run every time. Oh, did they touch? Going into the final turn, they may have touched. Let's back it up just a little bit and see. Right there, they did in fact touch. Trying to see if we've got a chopper view of it. Yes, we do. Sorensen just had a much better run into the turn, but great job and great sportsmanship. He backs off, lets Adam correct it, and keep going. That actually allowed Simon Zierk to make up a little bit of ground on him, and now he continues to make his way forward. Jason Miller is the first car to hit pit road for fuel. Paul Doling has crashed. Paul comes through the final turn, just gets too wide into the sand, manages to keep it off the wall though. And I stand corrected. Oh, Jason Miller's getting tires. Matt Bear was actually the first driver to hit pit road on lap 10. Looks like Matt was a fuel-only stop. Really surprised to see anybody take tires in this race with the cooler track temperatures than what we're used to seeing here. Tire wear should be substantially lower than what we would normally have. Sorensen trying to set up as they go toward the corkscrew. Is he going to try? He is. Nick Sorensen makes a move to the inside, coming out of the corkscrew. Nick Sorensen to the lead. And now that Mercedes power will come to life. Can he pull away and open a gap on Adam Barker? Adam already almost a full second behind, but Adam should have a little bit of an advantage down through the turns. However, with Sorensen focusing on corner exit this morning to keep his speed up, he is able to pull away very quickly. Simon Zierk in third place, still trying to close down the gap on Adam Barker. Mike Dolling now back in fourth. Mike, last time by, was about a second faster than Simon. Jason Miller, having completed his pit stop, back out in seventh. Matt Bear completed his. He is out in fifth. Matt fuel only on his stop. Jason Miller took 4 tires and fuel. And as we approach the halfway spot, should see the drivers that remain hitting pit road. Ben Rao, Harry Volsmir, and Xander, all 3 out of the race. Ronnie Wimberly did not take the grid. Nick Sorensen in the lead has already opened up almost a 2-second gap on Adam Barker. Giancarlo did manage to sweep the season opener at Road America. Nick Sorensen could get the second sweep of the season. Sorensen back down through the corkscrew. Adam Barker does gain a little ground through the corkscrew that time. Simon Zierk back in third place, about 6.5 seconds back. He has maintained that gap. Loses a little, gains a little every lap, but has held pretty steady at right around 6.5 seconds. Mike Dolling now up into fourth. Matt Bear into fifth. Paul Doling currently running in sixth. Jason Miller in seventh. Sorensen continues to pull away little by little. As we've seen in recent weeks, though, with this new format, that fuel stop could be a deciding factor here. And because of the way the pit road is here, these guys have to be extremely careful to make sure they are not speeding when they hit pit road. Sorensen about to come around and lap Paul Doling. Adam Barker currently runs in second. Simon Zierk in third. Mike Doling in fourth. Matt Bear in fifth. Most of the field spread out for the moment. Could Matt Bear, with that early pit stop for fuel, could that benefit him here once the other drivers start to come down pit road? Jason Miller with 4 fresh tires could also have an advantage here. Sorensen, Paul Doling moves over, lets Sorensen by easy. And lets Adam Barker back by in second. Paul obviously has some damage from earlier on. Seen a lot of tore up splitters here this morning. Nick Sorensen splitter, however, perfectly fine. Adam Barker had an off track a moment ago. Does not look like it was a bad one. Might just be exceeding track limits here a bit. Just a bit outside. Matt Bear also had an off-track incident a moment ago. Matt Bear way off the track through there, but man, that car out of shape, he still manages to pull it down. Nick Sorensen's lead now 3.3 seconds over Adam Barker in second. Simon Zierk now starting to lose a little more ground to the leaders. He is now 7.5 seconds back. Doling in fourth, however, was 10 seconds behind Simon Zierk. Now just under 8 seconds, and he is gaining on him. Last time by, he was about last time by, he was a full second faster than Simon Zierk, so we could see a battle for third in a few laps. Matt Bear back in fifth. Paul Doling in sixth. Jason Miller in seventh. A bit of a buffer between all the drivers. Harry Volsmeer and Xander out of the race after their incident together. Sorensen continues to lead, followed by Adam Barker and Simon Zierk. The field spreading out, coming towards pit stops. Only two drivers have been to pit road so far, one of which took tires, Jason Miller in the Porsche. Now the question is, does the fresh tires benefit Jason later in the race while everybody else's tires are starting to wear down? Paul Doling, who has not been to pit road, is about 35 seconds ahead of Jason Miller, so that will come into play when Paul hits pit road. Jason should be able to catch up to him, and those fresh tires are definitely gonna help. Matt Bear currently running in fifth. 13.5 minutes left to go, and not seeing many of the drivers hit pit road yet. It is a little bit late in the run. However, Nick's 5.5 second lead is definitely going to play into this. He can be a little bit more cautious on pit road, whereas pit road is where Adam Barker could make up a lot of ground. Simon Zierk back in third, Dowling in fourth. Looking to see when Sorensen hits pit road, and obviously the pit road at Laguna Seca is a bit tricky. Not this time, though. Driver's saying you got to get on that pit road speed limiter very quickly before you get to the turn. The speed limit cone in an odd place, and the entry to pit road also a little peculiar. Simon Zierk is on his way down pit road. He gives up third. Dowling does not come in. He's going to move up. Matt Bear, who has already completed his pit stop, is headed around. Don't forget to tune in tonight, BRR season opener. The BRR Cup Series begins their new season. Will Sorensen come in this time now that we are seeing pit stops underway? Paul Dowling is in. No. He does not. Nick Sorensen does not come in. Looks like Paul Dowling might have had an incident trying to get to pit road. No, it was earlier in the track. He gets off in the dirt and a hard hit into the tire barrier. Sorensen's lead continuing to grow, now 8.6 seconds. Adam Barker still in second place, holds a 13-second lead over Mike Dowling, but Dowling has got a bit of speed here today. Simon Zierk completes his pit stop, comes out in fourth, but now has to deal with Matt Bear in fifth, gaining on him, less than 2 seconds behind. Jason Miller now up into sixth place. Paul Dowling still on pit road getting repairs. And here he comes. Sorensen gives up the lead. That tricky pit road entry, gets down to speed and heads for his pit stall. Adam Barker also in. Mike Dowling now in third. He has not been to pit road. He will be the last, and here he comes. Simon Zierk currently running in fourth. Drops down through the corkscrew. Simon has already completed his pit stop. As Adam Barker is leaving pit road, Nick Sorensen on his way off. Simon has an opportunity here. Sorensen comes off. Paul Dowling is wrecked. Paul Dowling coming out of pit road right in front of Sorensen. Goes wide, gets in the dirt. Sorensen narrowly avoids him. After that pit stop, Nick's lead 8 seconds over Adam Barker. Simon Zierk comes back into third. Matt Bear in fourth. Mike Dolling in fifth. Jason Miller now in sixth. And it looks like Paul Dolling is out of the race. All pit stops have been completed. Now it's just a mad dash for 8 more minutes. Adam Barker currently in second. Simon Zierk having a great run this morning in third. Matt Bear in fourth had a moment. He just goes wide out of that second to last turn. Second or third time we've seen the Mad Bear do that. Looks like Ronnie Wimberly is coming out late in the race. He's going to come out and turn some laps here as well. Currently scored in 11th, but if he runs about 4 laps, he'll move up into the top 10. Nick Sorensen now extending his lead again, 9 seconds over Adam Barker. Adam has a 9-second lead over Simon Zierk. Simon still has Matt Bear closing in, and look behind him, Mike Dolling also closing in. We're about to have a 3-car battle for third place, folks. Matt Bear has been steadily gaining ground on Simon Zierk, and Mike Dolling has been quickly gaining ground on both of them. Simon, however, just running consistent laps all morning long. Interesting note, Simon Zierk, the only driver who has not had an off-track incident in race 2. Matt Bear has the most at 13. Adam Barker has 10. Our leader, Nick Sorensen, 5, and Mike Dolling, 4. Matt just over a second behind Simon Zierk and gaining. Jason Miller back in 6th place, over a minute behind, but he is gaining ground on those fresh tires. Likely not going to have enough time to pick up into the top 5 unless one of these drivers has an incident, but still a great run out of Jason Miller. Ronnie Wimberly still rolling, trying to get a couple laps in and pick up 10th place. Nick Sorensen continuing to extend his lead over Adam Barker. Now 11 seconds. And Simon Zierk in 3rd has a mirror full. Matt Bear less than a second behind. Mike Dolling just over 2 seconds behind. Dolling has had a great run here this morning. Struggled early, but has fought back big time. At times has been the fastest car on the track. Last time by, the only driver faster than Mike Dolling was leader Nick Sorensen. Simon Zierk fighting to stay in third place with Mike Dolling and Matt Bear right on his bumper. This is going to get interesting, and they'll only have a couple of laps left to go to sort this out. Next time by, I do believe Sorensen will get the white flag. Ronnie Wimberly has moved up into the top 10. Will not have enough time to turn enough laps to get past Xander and Harry, unfortunately. Sorensen back down through the corkscrew. Meanwhile, Simon Zierk is not enjoying looking in his mirror right now. Mike Dolling has had an incident. Headed toward the corkscrew up the hill. Oh, through the kink, just loses the back end. Dolling, who was trying to run down Simon Zierk and Matt Bear to battle for third. Now out of contention. He'll come home about fifth. Nick Sorensen's lead now 13.7 seconds. Adam Barker having another great run in second place. Matt Bear goes wide behind Simon Zierk as he tries to find some speed, but now Simon has started pulling away again. Oh, Jared, you love it and you know it. It depends on the car whether or not I like Laguna Seca. Nick Sorensen comes out of the final turn, will be getting a white flag this time. Well, I stand corrected. Nick Sorensen does not get the white flag. Looking for Barney the flagman to see. I do not see a white flag in the area. Matt Bear now to third. Simon Zierk had an off track. Looked like Ronnie Wimberly did, but oh, Simon just gets in too deep into the corkscrew. That push that we've been hearing the BMW drivers talk about all morning. Simon Zierk had the cleanest race number 2 of anybody going here. Unfortunately, that single off track puts him back into 4th. Nick Sorensen continues to lead. And he does get the checkered flag in the air. Apparently Barney forgot to wave the white flag last time. Nick Sorensen wins and sweeps the morning at Laguna Seca. Adam Barker is going to come home in second, and Matt Bear manages to pull off third place. Yeah, and congratulations to their team again for finishing second at Petit Le Mans yesterday. Holy cow. Simon Zierk's going to come home in fourth. Mike Doling in fifth. Let's talk to our top three. Hey, Matt, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, brother, I got you.
Hey, I have to say, that's a new record for off tracks for you.
You're not surprised?
Well, given the way that these cars, the BMW was pushing this morning, it's pretty impressive to keep it on the track at all.
Yeah, man, it's really slidey. I don't know what's going on with it today, but anytime I just had a high-speed corner, every time I get on throttle, or start to get on throttle even after getting off it and shifting down, it was just pushing every corner, especially in this corner right up here. It was everything I had to not wreck it about 5 different times.
Well, man, you pulled it off, and it looked like you and Simon were going to have quite a battle there at the end, and then Simon has the incident through the horseshoe, or through the corkscrew.
Yeah, that's what I told him. We were coming up through the corkscrew right there, passing Ronnie, and he went in there just a little too deep, and I was like, yeah, I think that's a little too deep. And then I got there, and I was like, this is definitely too deep. And I was lucky not to wreck myself right there.
Well, man, congratulations. Another podium finish, buddy.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, Adam Barker comes home in second place. All right, Adam, who are you aiming for right now?
We're just trying to get some air. Oh, we need a bit of a run up.
I got you. I have to say, man, that was a great run, and you did an amazing job holding Sorensen off for quite a while.
Yeah, I was just trying not to make a mistake. That was the whole thing of just keep it in, like, just keep it on the track. Make sure I hit every apex, and it went well for a little bit. And then I got a little bit loose coming down the corkscrew. I gotta slow down, so that sort of ended it all.
Good jump there, by the way. Decent air out of it.
Yeah, no engine now, so.
I see. Well, man, another great run. Holy cow, it's getting close out there as guys work the way. Well, congratulations, man. Another great run and a great day for you overall.
Yeah, really good run. I tried to ruin it at the end. If you noticed, I nearly had to stop on the last lap and the corkscrew where I tried to spin it again. So.
Well, great job today. Great holding on to it.
Thank you.
And Nick Sorensen sweeps the morning. Nick, first time since Giancarlo earlier in this season, somebody to sweep the day.
Nice. Thanks, Doug.
Man, I have to say, Adam gave you a workout to get around, but once he did, you were just gone.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him. I had a move set up that hopefully I was going to get to use, but he ended up spinning out before, and I got around him.
And honestly, there was at no point beyond there. Once you took off, you hit 1 second out, then 2 seconds, and in just a matter of laps, we're 5 seconds ahead. That was an awesome, dominant performance.
Yeah, I was just cruising there at the end, just making sure my lap times were consistent. It's so easy to hit the dirt anywhere on this track and spin yourself out, so I just kept my concentration going.
Oh, man, you did an amazing job and come home with the sweep, and it looks like you'll actually pull into second in points. With Avery out today, you might pull up even further.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, really glad I did well here, track that I like, because like I said, the next few weeks are going to be tough, a lot of practice to do.
All right, man. Well, congratulations and good luck in the coming weeks.
All right, thanks, Doug.
Nick Sorensen pulls off the win, and don't forget to tune in again tonight. BRR Cup Series begins, and it's going to be an awesome one at Daytona. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as I did. We'll see you tonight. Have a great day.